I am S.N.Mandal, Department of English, R.D D.J.College Munger. Today I am going to discuss Macbeth as a tragedy. Macbeth stands one of the greatest tragedies by Shakespeare. And about Macbeth you have heard already. Macbeth as a tragedy has some common features that we find in Shakespearean tragedies. Particularly the theme of revenge, eventful plot, good and evil characters, the role of the supernaturals, a spiritual discovery or realization, violation of the three unities, etc. appear to be the common features of Shakespearean tragedies. And these features are quite apparent in Macbeth. The theme of Macbeth, as I have told you already, is closely concerned with retaliation, retribution, and revenge. Macbeth is the chief general of King Duncan's army. After defeating the Norwegian army, he comes back to the palace of King Duncan along with Banquo, who also stands a general. On way to the palace of King Duncan, he meets the three witches upon a heath. The three witches predict in his favor, and according to their predictions, he is bound to become the Thane of Glamis, the Thane of Cawdor, and the King of Scotland thereafter. The three witches also make some predictions in favor of Banquo, and the chief point of the predictions is that he is both lesser and greater than Macbeth. Banquo is lesser than Macbeth in the sense that he himself won't become the King of Scotland, rather his sons. Anyway, the predictions made by the three witches wake up Macbeth's ambition. Macbeth has ambition indeed, but it is dormant. And soon after the first two predictions coming to be true, he begins to think that the third will also come true, and he will soon become the King of Scotland. So his ambition now rises. Macbeth writes a letter regarding the predictions made by the three witches to his wife, and then he seeks leave of King Duncan for meeting his wife and children. So, Macbeth is going to his castle to see his wife and children, and King Duncan also wants to see his wife and children there. Anyway, Macbeth didn't like to kill King Duncan, under a strong pressure from his wife, but he has to do so. And after he murders King Duncan, he becomes the King of Scotland, and at the time of coronation, he also becomes an arch enemy to Macbeth, who didn't participate in it. Macbeth wants to secure his throne for his children. So he also wants to get both Banquo and his son killed, but succeeds in getting Banquo killed only. After the murder of Banquo, there is a rumor in Scotland that Macbeth is a murderer, a terrorist, and he shouldn't be in power for a long time. So there is an uprising in Scotland. People revolt against him. Those persons who raise their hands against him are brutally killed, suppressed. Rose, Lennox, and some other noblemen of Scotland now leave for England to organize an army for setting Scotland free from the bloody clutch of Macbeth. So while Macbeth is away in England, his wife and children are killed by Macbeth. Now Macbeth wields the bloody sword like a demon, like a terrorist. He didn't show any sympathy towards his citizens, and at last what happens? Now time is not in his favor. The net of circumstances is widening and widening. He is afraid of the loss of kingdom. So he visits the three witches upon the heath again, and this time the three witches say something to him through their masters. The three witches move round and round a large cauldron in which the flesh and bone of different animals and birds are boiling. Yes, different ghosts arise from the cauldron one by one, and they predict about Macbeth. According to the predictions made by the ghosts, Macbeth cannot be killed by anyone. Macbeth can be killed by someone only if the person concerned is prematurely born. Macbeth can be killed by someone only if the forest of Vietnam draws near his palace. Yes, now Macbeth becomes bold and he comes back to his palace with high spirit, with high moral, and now he becomes more aggressive, more terrible, more bloody towards the people of Scotland. And now he openly suppresses his people. Yes, when Macbeth is surrounded by unfavorable circumstances, his wife falls ill. She suffers from a very dense disease that's called sleepwalking disease. One day, it so happens that she falls down through the roof of the palace while walking. She dies. The news of her death reaches Macbeth. Macbeth didn't believe it, but the news of death is hardly false. And Macbeth has to accept it ultimately. In the meantime, what happens? A large army of England is organized and it moves towards the palace of Macbeth. But before the English soldiers moved towards the palace of Macbeth, they carried a twig in their hands each, just to hide the proper number. So, it seems that the forest of Vietnam draws near the palace. Macbeth now feels that he has grossly been deceived by the three wizards. Anyway, Macbeth didn't like to engage or take on his enemies because he is almost baffled by the premature demise of his wife, Lady Macbeth. and he didn't easily accept the challenge posed to him by his enemies. Ultimately, Macbeth commands him to stand before him in the battlefield. Otherwise, he will be used as a thing of play among the public. Ultimately, Macbeth prepares himself for the imposed battle, and in the battle he is killed by Macduff, because Macduff is the only person over there who is prematurely born. And after the murder of Macbeth or killing of Macbeth, Scotland is set free. Malcolm becomes the king of Scotland, and now normalcy, peace, happiness are all restored to Scotland. It is in this way that the theme of Macbeth is covered. The theme of revenge. Macbeth kills King Duncan, Banquo, Macduff's wife and children, and hundreds of innocent people of Scotland, just for serving his own interest. So, the noblemen of Scotland, with the help of the English soldiers, retaliate against him. So, the theme of revenge is quite obvious to us. In Hamlet, we have also the theme of revenge. In Julius Caesar, we have the same theme. In King Lear, we have the same theme. So, the theme of revenge is very common. Now, I am directly coming to the plot of Macbeth. In Macbeth, the plot is well lit. It is full of events. In other words, we may say the plot of the play is eventful. And this is the reason why this play is very successful. All the events have systematically been placed by the author, by the playwright. The ongoing war between the Scottish and the Norwegian army, the defeat of the Norwegian army at the hands of Macbeth and Banquo, the murder of King Duncan, the murder of Banquo, the murder of Macduff's wife and children, the killing or butchering of hundreds of innocent people of Scotland, the premature demise or death of Lady Macbeth, the foreign aggression leading to the loss of Macbeth's life. All these events have nicely been presented systematically and thereby forming a beautiful plot. So, the plot of the drama or the play is very fine, very eventful, and it is in the beautiful presentation of the events that the success of the tragedy lies. Now I am directly coming to the error, the deficiencies, the essential weaknesses of Shakespearean heroes, with a special reference to Macbeth. Macbeth, like other Shakespearean heroes, I mean King Lear, Hamlet, Othello, Julius Caesar, has some essential weaknesses, particularly holding ambition, galloping ambition. Macbeth is highly ambitious, and his high ambition leads him through the path of blood and devastation. Had he not murdered King Duncan for becoming the King of Scotland, he wouldn't have fallen into the net of circumstances out of which he never comes. So, Macbeth's character is responsible for his own doom, his own death, his own decay. And some critics, some scholars have also pointed out the fact that in Macbeth, the play, character is destiny. In other words, destiny is replaced by character. Really, it is so. For the tragic end of Macbeth, his faulty character is responsible. However, the role of destiny cannot be ruled out. Destiny also plays a very vital role in shortening the life of Macbeth. Macbeth is perhaps destined to die earlier, to die prematurely. Now, a question may arise before us as to why does Shakespeare choose a great hero, choose a hero belonging to a high rank? Of course, Macbeth is a general in King Duncan's army. Hamlet is the prince of Denmark. Lear is the king of Britain. Julius Caesar is the emperor of Rome. In all these tragedies, we find that heroes are noble, great. They belong to high rank. Yes, in reply to the question, the possible question that has already been referred to, I would like to say that the fate of a great person is closely associated with the fate of the people in general. If the fate of a great person is ill, is dark, then the fate of the people in general is also affected, is also disturbed. And such a thing is quite happened to us in relation to Macbeth. Macbeth is a great general. The loss or gain in the war is associated with his valor. He defeats the Norwegian army, and therefore now he is very much praised all over Scotland. Well, his fate is associated with the fate of the people in general. But when he becomes a killer, a terrorist, a shooter, the fate of the people of Scotland becomes dark. They begin to suffer. And ultimately, happiness, prosperity, etc. are restored to Scotland by Malcolm and some patriots of Scotland. Next important point to discuss with a special reference to Macbeth is the role of the supernatural elements. Macbeth perhaps has a wide range of the role of the supernatural. Perhaps in no other tragedies by Shakespeare, the supernatural elements are so much active, so much dominant. Right from the beginning up to the end, we have the active roles of the supernatural. And in the very opening scene of the play, we may notice the nature, the design of the supernatural elements. The supernatural elements are shrewd, confusing, deceitful, evil, and whatever you may say. The three sisters, the three weird sisters, or the three witches themselves say, fair is foul and foul is fair. Why do they say so? It means what is evil, what is unfair is good to them, and what is good to them, and what is good to them, yes, evil is good to them. So it is darkness, it is blood, that appears to be good to them. So, the chief aim of the three wishes in the play is to create a sort of confusion in the mind of Macbeth. Once Macbeth begins to believe them, he continues to do so. It is a fact that Macbeth is surrounded by some vicious circumstances, and he meets them again upon the heath. But even this time, he is beguiled, deceived, and so ultimately, Macbeth comes to know that he has grossly been deceived by them. So, it is quite apparent to us that the three witches, Hecate, ghosts, and apparitions are all concerned with the foul play in the play or in the tragedy. And DH is the main design or aim is to push Macbeth towards the brink of death and decay. And we find so. Anyway, now the last point that is left to be touched by me is a spiritual realization. Most of the Shakespearean heroes get a spiritual realization through suffering. Macbeth didn't get any spiritual knowledge through suffering. He is still hopeless. He is still confused. He undermines life. He says, out, brief candle, life is but a walking shadow. What does he mean by saying so? Yes, by saying so, he simply undermines the significance of life. He simply presents more as the fact that life is very short. It is so short as a candle is. Anyway, Macbeth is a very successful tragedy by William Shakespeare, and many a great critic has appreciated Macbeth as a great tragedy. Thanks.